We count a 2020 census counting book for young children and the grown-ups who love them. So who counts in America? Every 10 years, we answer that question by counting each and every person who lives in this country. It is called the census, and today is Census Day. In the last census, many families forgot to count their babies and young children. So this is a book to help everyone learn to count. Young and old, we all count. So this is Miss Faith. She counts as one. Young and old, we all count. In this book, Miss Faith and her friends will help everyone, young and old, learn to support the 2020 census. So let's get started. My name is Katya. We are 1-2 where I live. Young and old, we all count. Katya lives with her mother most of the time, but when her mom works late, Katya stays overnight with her grandma or with an aunt. So who should count Katya on the census? Her mother puts Katya on the census because Katya stays most nights with her. Children should be counted where they sleep most of the time. My name is James. We are 1-2-3 where I live. Young and old, we all count. So James's census is a little tricky. There are 3 people where James lives, but now there are 4 people in his family. His mother just had a new baby, but the baby is still in the hospital. So who should be counted? Again, this is a tricky census count. New babies that are still in the hospital are counted with their family. There are 3 people where James lives, but on the census, there are 4 in the household. James, his parents, and his new baby brother are all counted on the same census. Don't forget, even tiny babies still in the hospital need to be counted on the census. My name is Sophia. We are 1-2-3-4 where I live. Young and old, we all count. Sophia, her brother Kadir, her mother, and her father all live together at the same address. So who should be counted? They are all counted as one household. Again, many families forgot to count their young children in the last census, so it's important to count everyone in your family. My name is Frankie. We are 1-2-3-4-5 where I live. Young and old, we all count. Frankie, his brother Tomas, and his sister Nina live with their grandparents, Nona and Nona, but their grandparents live in a building that is only for senior citizens. So if anyone asks, they all pretend that Frankie, Tomas, and Nina are just visiting. So who should be counted? Frankie, Tomas, Nina, and their grandparents all count on the census. True answers to the census will help their community. They will not be in trouble for those answers. And why? By law, the census is private and answers are not shared with anyone, not landlords or police. My name is Maria. We are 1-2-3-4-5-6 where I live. Young and old, we all count. Filling out this census form will be a bit tricky. Sometimes there are as many as 6 people where Maria lives, but Maria's brothers are not living at home right now. Juan lives with his aunt, Carlos is in the army, and Rosa is Maria's foster sister and lives in the household now. So who should be counted in this family? Only 4 people, Maria, Rosa, her mother, and her father are counted on the census. Children in foster care are counted where they live. So Rosa is counted with Maria's family, but Juan is living with his aunt, so he should be counted on his aunt's census form. Family members in the army, like Carlos, will be counted by the military. My name is Sami. We are 1-2-3-4-5-6-7 where I live. Young and old, we all count. Sami and his sister Aisha live with their parents and grandmother. Many relatives stay at Sami's house when they first come to live in the United States. Uncle Omar is living with them right now. So is cousin Joe. Who should be counted? Anyone staying at Sami's house on April 1st, 2020, with no other fixed address should be counted. This includes Sami, his brother, father, grandmother, her sister Aisha, and cousin Joe, who is here to study. Don't forget Uncle Omar. Even though he's sleeping on the couch until he finds a new place, he is counted with Sami's family. My name is Frida. We are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 where I live. Young and old, we all count. Frida lives with her parents, her brother, her grandma, her Auntie Lena, and 2 cousins. They move every spring so Frida's parents and aunt can work. Who should be counted? All of Frida's family should be counted where they lived on April 1st, 2020. My name is Shanti. We are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 where I live. Young and old, we all count. Shanti just came with her mother, father, and her favorite doll to live in the United States. Luckily, another family from their village has turned their garage into a home where Shanti and her parents can live. Who should be counted? Shanti and her family live at their own private place, but they share an address with another family, so they should all be counted together. My name is Patience. We are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 where I live. Young and old, we all count. Patience and her mother live in apartment 5G. They do not know some of the people who share 5G with them. Many people come and go. Some are friendly while others are quiet. So who should be counted? Every person living in 5G, young and old, must be counted together on the census. Any adult living in 5G can fill out the form, but must be sure to include everyone who lives there. So, how does the census work? Some grown-up talk about the census. In March, every household received a letter from the United States Census Bureau. The letter was an invitation to take the census. Each letter has a census ID number, and you will use that number to fill out the census form. You can fill out that form right away if you call on the phone, or go online using a computer or a smartphone. You may also get a form in the mail to fill out in writing, or call to ask for a written census form. And we'll go over those phone numbers at the end of the presentation. So what does this census thing have to do with you? The government uses the census numbers so they know how many people live in your community, the ages of people in your community, what services your community is likely to need, and most important, how much money to send back to your community to pay for these services. That money pays for services all our families need and use. So your children, family, and our entire community need you to fill out the census and bring the money home. Census numbers make sure that funds are sent to communities across the United States. So James can get the best childcare when his parents go to work. So Sophia has doctor visits her parents can afford. So Maria's foster care sister has a home with a family who is there for her. So Frida can go to a school right down the street and get her lunch for not too much money. So Katja, Frankie, Sami, Shanti, and Patience and their families, and all of our families, get the services our government promises to us for paying our taxes, like the fire department, highways, and even garbage collecting. Government services all of us use and need are based on our response to the census. The amount of money a community gets for programs that keep children healthy and strong is only decided on census numbers. No politics, no deals, just the answer to one question: how many people live in the community? If your family is not counted in the census, then the government doesn't know you are there, and your share of the money could go to another community. But the census is about more than money. The census is about democracy. If you and your family are not counted in the census, then your community will have less power, voice, and representation in our national, state, and local government. You deserve to have representatives who come from your community and can make sure your community's voice is heard. Taking the census is a very direct way to make sure that you have a voice. So what I hear about the census and immigration is confusing. People are confused about the questions you will be asked on the census. The census counts how many people there are in the country, no matter their age, race, ethnicity, or immigration status. It does not ask about your citizenship or legal status. It does not ask when or if you came here from another country. So how do I know that my answers will be private? By law, your private information cannot be shared with any person or government agency. It is not shared with the IRS, not the Department of Human Services, not the FBI or CIA or ICE, or even your landlord. Census workers take an oath to keep your answers private, and they can go to jail for up to 5 years and pay a $250,000 fine if they break that promise. In March, you should have received an invitation in the mail to take the census. That invitation will give you a census ID and tell you how to take the census online at my2020census.gov. That's the place to go to fill the census out online. So remember, young and old, we all count on the census. So you'll see at the end of the book some thoughts that you can take with you in terms of where you get the census form, how you fill it out, how long it takes. It's a summary of what we read in the book. And this last page gives information where you can get census information in your language. And now I'm going to turn to Miguelina, who's going to read the book in Spanish.